plays Transport Fever 2. Yes, we're back. We're absolutely back. It's time now for the 1850s, and we have a lot of work we need to do. First of all, we need to look at all of our freight trains, and we need to... Well, first things first, we need to radically reshift these ones. So, for example, we can replace the 3 engines with 1 locomotive instead, which will pull equivalent tonnage with only needing 1 engine. So that's something we could do. We could also then replace these older, smaller engines. We can actually then replace these older engines with tank engines, which can be relied upon to work these trains probably actually slightly longer trains. And we can actually give them proper brake vans now. As they are significantly more powerful. Oh, the planks train in particular, given its length, absolutely needs a new, more powerful engine attached to it. Especially given the sort of gradients that it deals with. Like, absolutely. Again, the logs trains in particular, like, we can deal with them in a minute. But for now, it's all about sorting out the local trains, the local freight trains. That's the current goal right now. Sort out the local freights, everything else will follow. So they currently work 40 capacity trains. Let's make them 60 capacity trains. Proper brake vans as well. Again, so the 60 capacity trains here as well. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We don't need the tender engines. We just need the tank engines instead. There we go. And this massively increases the... Not only does it increase our freight train speed by 5 miles an hour, but it also increases our overall average speed because these are faster engines that move at much higher speeds overall than the locomotives that came before them. I saw that. You cheeky sod, you thought you could bamboozle me. Not this time. Oh, we did actually upgrade the some of the lines to use the newer stock. But yeah, look at that. Little tank engines. And Jeff and Steve are back on the little tank engines again. And in regards to this, we can probably actually get a more consistent run out of this service if we replace these long and complicated locomotives with the 042 tender engines that are just a lot more powerful. They're slightly slower, but they'll definitely reach their top speed a lot better and hold it. But yeah, so back on the railway once again. It's been a while. We've got a lot to do today. We've got another full decade to work through. We need to really move the amount of timber that we need to move in order to make this work. Okay, if we're only moving that much timber, then we can afford to actually do it properly. So, there we go. I want about 160 capacity train. Normal brake van. 1 engine, it's all we need. Especially since it can make a fairly good run at the... That's not the right colour, but it's fine. It's close enough. And there we are. Look at that. Fantastic. But now that we've done those upgrades, now we need to focus on doing what we were doing, which was actually finishing the first stage of the Leeds to Boston and then King's Lynn. Well, that line. So we're actually building that, so let's get on with it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to obviously big bus terminal, and then we go into here. We have one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there like that. There we are. Fantastic. And then, so buses again as we usually do. So bonk, bink, bink, bonk, bink, bonk, bink. 8 buses, not a problem. 8 orange, well, coaches technically, but you know what I mean. 8 of those boys we can absolutely do. No problems at all. It was that colour, wasn't it? Yeah, it was that colour. Fantastic. There we go. Perfect. And we've got the through line there, which is very nice indeed. So that's 3 stations. We can quite easily work that as it currently stands, but what we will do is I will wait for that. I just need to actually set up the Leeds bus routes fairly quickly. It shouldn't take too long though. What we'll do is we'll have an out and back. We'll have a loop that also turns into an out of back as it goes that way. So we'll have to have we'll have to have nice big buses on the out and back bus route here. So that'll have to be double-decker omnibuses because it's going to be fed by 2 other bus routes, which is 8, and I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine with that. Then there we go. That actually works quite well. And there's another bus route there, which we will work with our more traditional. That was, I think. Oh, we missed the stop. Oh, hang on, no. We missed the stop. There we go. 14 of them. There we go. And that serves Leeds. And of course, then there's the Leeds, Wakefield, Huddersfield, Bradford circular that I also plan to build as well. And the whole way that will work is it will be a circular route. Through these 4 cities. Like that. But in order to make that work, we first need to actually make sure that we build the trackage properly. So let's actually get on with doing that. In particular, this end of the line, because this is important, because we'll need to feed trains out of a depot for both of these lines, so it's important that we actually have trackage that does enable that. Luckily, I'm not expecting too much traffic flow out east of here. So, luckily, we should be able to just get away with a double slip switch, since there should be no need for trains to cross over, apart from when they're exiting the depot into Leeds Station proper. And same over here. But without much further ado, let's get into it. So, for this we'll have our tank engines as usual. They only do 40. We want to do 45. So we'll stick with generic passenger coaches for now. 30 capacity, 4 trains, bright orange. There we go. There we go. In lines. There we go. Unbunch at Leeds. There you go. Mind your manners. And that'll provide a link. The real goal, though, is to replace the mainline stock. The London to Edinburgh run. Because it needs to be significantly faster than it is. Oh, wait up. You should be a much more powerful engine and a much more powerful train. Yeah, you should have been replaced. I'm surprised you haven't been. I must have missed that. No, not to worry. We can fix that relatively lickety-split. Yeah, the real challenge is replacing these with something usable. Yeah, using these engines, you've still got to add five, six-wheel, like 67 million to replace them. So for now, they'll remain. But we'll see how we go. There we go. I'm basically relying on the income from the new regional railway system to actually pay for some of the costs of what we're doing. Although in particular I do want to replace some of the branch trains with better branch trains because, well, that'll do. It's fine. And that will be that orange, won't it? Yeah. Actually, be lighter orange instead. There we go. And again, the thing here is speed, which is what we don't have currently. What we really need here is to increase the speed of our secondary lines that link into the main one, because that's what makes travelling on the main one actually attractive. The speed of that connection. Again, same things here. I can offer a significantly faster train journey As long as I get the income for it, which I should be able to do, given how much money we're actually now making. We just have to hope everything goes well. It may not. And there we are. Look at that. These sort of secondary lines that we've actually ended up building to link certain places that would otherwise not be part of the railway network. These are arguably the first places that needs to be upgraded. Because they feed into the main line, and therefore because they feed into the main line, they have to have a faster service to make that feeder connection attractive to the people who want to use it. It has to be within a reasonable travel time to make people want to actually consider doing it. It's also brought Kirby Stephen within range as well, with these new faster trains. It's made what is, to be fair, a long and lonely run out into the Upper Peak District a fairly reasonable run instead. Even if it has increased the overall cost of actually operating that service. Well, the cost of actually upgrading that service is really easy. That's literally just 2 6-wheeled coaches and we're done. Because of the sort of traffic flows we're expecting. This is where you'll see in later years things like rail buses and rail cars on these sort of secondary lines that don't really see traffic levels to warrant either electrification or full-scale dieselization. But by improving the timings, you improve the connections to the main line, which absolutely matters. Even if these lines run at a loss, they are absolutely vital for keeping various parts of the country connected to the other parts of the country. Oh, nice. Double departure. Very nice indeed. The only problem now is actually bringing the country together, which means we've got a few things that we could do today. And there's a lot to do. So there's the regional railways are now actually set up and running. Although I am questioning if my timetabling decision for that train did not actually... Oh, apparently it did not stick. Well, that's fine. We can unbunch that. No problems at all. Good. That will now unbunch, and that will all work as it should do. What are we looking at passenger numbers-wise? Okay, that is actually rapidly growing in terms of numbers of passengers. That is very significant passenger growth. So, yeah, we can absolutely probably look to increasing the all-up train length of the Leeds line. You gotta be careful, you gotta catch that, because it seems to want to try and make me put everything in the same colour all the time, which is not something I want to do. Right, okay, so done that. Okay, so it looks like these trains are not moving as much. Oh no, one of them did. One of them did in fact seemingly move that much. It seems to be we're actually outstripping... Yeah, we're actually not feeding enough logs into the logging camp to actually feed it. So we need to fix that, which is fine, and we absolutely can. That's not a problem. We have the money. Let's actually get on and do that now then. Feed more lumber into... more logs into the mill. There we go. So, standard thing applies. Perfect. So, that for me would be you start with saddle tanks. You give them probably about 100 weight worth of train to work. And then we budget for 2 of them, which we absolutely can do. Like, budgeting for 2 of those is absolutely within my company's ability to pay for. No problems at all. And all inbound log trains use the same track, because they don't wait here, they wait at the other terminus. What's our profitability like? Profitability is up. Positive flow of money. Just don't have enough. We don't have enough cash flow right this instant to do what I want to do, but we will do in a minute. There we go. May as well build that out just so it's done. Because then it's done. Perfect. There we go. Make sure that's timetabled. So there we go. York local at York Halt. Unbunch. Bosh. Pity no one's around today, but never mind. That's fine. They'll catch it on the VOD, I'm sure. And I'm still debt-free, which is good. What would the cost be for a bridge replacement, I wonder? Especially something more practical. Like an iron truss. That would open more room for mainline running as well. Yeah, there we go. Gives us a lot more to work with. Make sure timetables are still being obeyed as they should be. Good, they are. That's fantastic. And now the mainline service out through... Oh my god, the people of Leeds desperately want to get away from Leeds. Holy shit. The amount of passenger traffic demand is insane. Holy smokes, Batman. Good lord above. The amount of interchange traffic we are generating just coming out of Leeds alone. See how we go, though. How is that unbunching network actually going? Not so bad. There we go. Good. That's fine. Now we should probably look into actually building the loop line instead. There we go. That only costs $1 million to build. That's not that expensive at all. And the 56 mile an hour limit is fine because I am not expecting it to work. It works as an express service. It is supposed to be a high capacity. Basically almost a metro line. Basically, it's a metro. Or loop line. Basically. That's the whole plan. That is the we need to make sure we actually get that built later. That's fine though, because the whole thing will open as one thing, rather than in sections. Because then all three lines will open at the same time. So both lines will open. The ones that are running in either direction to each other. At least that's the plan. Oh. Talk about clearing everything up. Whew! Still fighting the good fight against this bloody cold I've been suffering from. But I'm winning. I am winning just about. There we go. So that's that section done. And then that gives us enough money to do this section. There we go. Perfect. And then the parallel track will not cost nearly half as much. Yep, there we go. Perfect. There we go. And I want a medium-sized city street, so we go... More money, please. Thank you. I need the money to help finish off my large constructions. Perfection. So now, as usual, we go town by town, and we build a... Yeah, wow, they're already using the grid I've laid out for them. Very nice, very nice. Well, I think they're probably expecting a much a much enhanced growth in their city's development as the train links it to the rest of the country. And they should be very, very, very happy indeed, because that is exactly what is happening. They can head to Leeds station and board trains to link very quickly and rapidly to the main line. Which again leads us back to the thorny issue of, you know, the main line still not being upgraded to the new faster trains. But again, that is unfortunately something that we have to deal with, I am afraid. There we go. Luckily, with city layouts like this, it's not so hard to do loop lines like this without it. It doesn't really affect the flow of passengers, luckily. Thank God. If it did, we'd be in serious trouble. Luckily, though, it shouldn't. However, in the large city of Bradford, that's not... That is not gonna fly. We're gonna have to do a proper conurbation bus route, which is fine. It's not a problem. Luckily, though, given the nature of it, given the nature of the city, it is just a variation on the traditional out loop and back because of the way the city's laid out. $16 buses. Wow, I think apart from London, that's actually a record. That is the part I was most dreading actually doing today, was actually finishing the, Yeah, it is. It will be right-hand running, so that's probably a thing I need to actually build the signals for it. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Given that there should be no... there should be no other intermingled traffic on the two loop lines, we should be pretty much alright. So there we go. So yep, same thing. So same thing as before. I mean, four of these trains at about 6 million a pop. Sorry, 6 million for... Just gotta make 6 million first. And then we send one round one way. Oh, hang on, there we go. Then we send one set round on one line. And then we send one round the other way. We make sure that's timetabled as well. And that's now unbunched. And that's now been created, which is very nice indeed. So again, we need the same thing again. So locomotive, 2 passenger coaches, and I need 4 trains. But we can start running the loop in one direction. And then run it in the other direction as well. We just need to actually get it running in one direction so that it pays for itself in one direction. And then we can use the funds from that to set it up running in the other direction, and such is business. Excuse me. And so that's about 6.6 mil. There we go. And I was entirely right to use the big omnibuses on the main Leeds trunk bus route. Entirely correct, because we need that much bus capacity to move people. We need more people. Gotta have more people moving around the railway network. Yes, of course. Which is then going to feed more people into the Leeds terminus, which is going to mean more people are going to want connections. There may actually be an argument here for a Leeds to London Express. Yeah, there may actually be an argument here for a Leeds to London Express. But we'll have to see. I'd have to figure out how I'd blend that in as well. I'm not sure how I would. Good lord. Look at Doncaster Interchange now. The amount of people who want to go to Leeds. I mean, good lord. It's huge. Thank you. And then you want light pink. And you want to be assigned to the Leeds Wakefield regional run. And again, unbunch at Leeds, if you please. And that is the Leeds Circular Railway built. Which is a circular railway serving as a metro service, linking all of the sort of Leeds conurbation cities together. And already we are actually reaching the limits of we need more passengers. Sorry, we need more coaching stock. It's not enough, do you hear me? It's not enough. Already we are beginning to move more people on this network than we actually have coaching stock for. So, yes, if you please, we will have more coaches because we need them. And while I actually have the money, I will also preemptively do that here as well. Because it's just like, we need more. There's so many people who want to go round the circular. Good God. It's, again, it's not really surprising. If you think about it. This is like 4 towns that are being served. I mean, they've been given a fairly modern, reliable service through the circular route. That should be more than enough. Oh yeah, we're actually looking, yeah, we are looking at overflow here. We need, I need some big money earners in order to actually fund the sort of cash flow that we need to actually pay for the sort of investments I need to do in order to actually upgrade the mainline rolling stock, which is like 67 million. for the upgrades I actually want to do to it. Like, we're not talking small change here. We're talking more money than the company has ever had in its entire existence. We are talking significant chunks of change here. Add more... The problem is we need to replace these older engines with engines like this. These 042s that can work at 45 miles an hour and are decent pulling machines. Compared to these machines which only do 35 miles an hour. Problem is the cost of replacement, given the passenger loads that the main line now faces, is... yeah, it's getting a little bit up there. A lot of the secondary lines have been replaced with the more modern rolling stock, since, you know, being interchange and bridge lines, they kind of need it. Since their connection to the main line will decide whether or not people actually take the mainline trains, so it's important to have them be as fast a connection as it's possible to be. The run to Doncaster in particular is really heating up because we've got the through traffic to Leeds that is just absolutely, yeah, it's really chewing up the stock we've got working the new regional service out of Leeds. Connecting, which is, this will be a second main line once I finished it, which is supposed to run out through Gainsborough, through Lincoln, through Boston, through Kings Lynn, through Bury St Edmunds, and finally terminate at Ipswich. That's supposed to be the new main line. And there are some bridge lines as well, like Grand Newark to Lincoln, etc. But as it stands right now, we're still just in the process of building it. And I'm considering whether or not I can leave that on hold and actually add a few express trains to the railway. Because clearly the demand is there for them. It's just whether or not I have the money to do it. And therein lies the rub. Things I'm trying to build up our reserve of cash. Since cash flow is positive, so our bank balance should be building. And now let's build a HQ where it all started. There we go. When did our balance actually peak? 1849, 13 million. Okay. Yeah, we're currently worth about 258 million. But we're nowhere near that close in terms of balance. I had hoped our cash flow would enable us to do more than just... you know, I hoped we would be able to bank it away, but apparently not. Remember, this was as far north as it went. I mean, now we've got branch lines everywhere now. With connections to the main line at either end. People can make a connecting... The problem is the mainline trains are too slow. 35 miles an hour is not enough. It barely puts one town within reach of the connection. Whereas 45 miles an hour might put 2 or maybe 3 towns within reach of a connection from a branch line train. The problem is the extortionate cost of replacing them. Even if I accept, let's say, only a slight increase in speed. And we actually match the trains for capacity. That's still £36 million I've got to find. Which is significant. Although it is a lot better than having to find 67 million, so we'll probably go with that and then try and jump up to the 45 mile an hour speed bracket further down the line. Haha, further down the line, I'm funny! Well, at least I think I'm funny. We don't know whether I am or not. I always like to take time to sit and watch places on the network, because it is nice. For example, the junction station of Morpeth, which is where one of the secondary bridge lines meets one of the branch lines. Okay, we're steadily building our account up, which is good. This is very good. We're actually closing in on being able to possibly do this. I think that's what I need to save up and actually be able to do this. And oh my god, that's made that town so much bigger. Oh my, okay, we need to... Yeah, those buses need to be upgraded to proper full-on omnibuses. The passenger load is too much otherwise. Dunbar, they're doing mostly okay. That's fine. Passenger loads are okay. North Berwick, they're fine. I still can't believe it only took me 30 years from game start to actually build the East Coast Main Line in totality. I am very pleased with that. I wonder, 45 miles an hour, how long would it take if it takes under 20 minutes to cover the entire length of the map? So I worked it out. It takes about an hour to cover the entire length of the map on one of these local trains. So I wonder, is there actually a market for basically a Flying Scotsman, if you will? An express passenger train that runs the entire length of the line, London to Edinburgh. And, more importantly, other express trains like it. To link other areas together. And I kind of feel like there's gotta be one because, well, you know, it's... There we go. I'll do. Put a depot in there for now. So basically the way it works is for the most part it follows the line up. But basically every... On the long sections of track... where it might get stuck behind a local train, you obviously quadruple it. And what it means you can do is you can then do this to rejoin. You come back around and you rejoin like that. And then coming back the other way, you branch off like that. You come through this part here. And then you rejoin like that, and then you come up here like that. There we go. So that comes through there like that. Then through there, you're all right. Then obviously past there, you then have more quad track running, basically because of the length of the line. And the need for increased. Also, by doing this, it passes the time, which I kind of also do want to do. Because, yeah, given the... There we go, like that. Again, it passes the time. It allows for faster running. It's all good stuff. While waiting for that 36 million to build up so we can actually replace the mainline local passenger trains with proper stock befitting the 1850s rather than the 1830s. Oh. I completely missed that. Silly old me. And then from here, you've basically got to stick with the main line for now. Just because of the way in which it sort of bunches up through these stations. But you should have had a chance to overtake the local trains there. Then you've got this section here where it gets all a little bit complicated. This is the bit where you're going to have the most delays. Coming through, you know, obviously the section through Doncaster, Selby, York, Thirsk. Once you're past Thirsk, though, instead of taking the line up into Northallerton, the express trains instead cut straight northwards. Cutting around Northallerton rather than climbing up into it to serve the station. Then by taking advantage of the railway's own topography, they dive under the main line using a tunnel. Completely bypassing Durham. There we go. More freight, more cash. This is a custom map. It is a custom map, and I can't really make the Midland main line because the map doesn't exist for it. This is purely the East Coast main line. Obviously, the main line to Sunderland will have to go over it, but luckily the track is in a cutting, so that shouldn't be too hard to bridge over. And then it rejoins the main line for the very quiet, given that we're now clear of most obstructions, run up to Edinburgh. There we go. This is going to be... Now, this was a fairly expensive thing to build. But... it does very much enable me to actually, in essence, try... and replicate an attempt at making an express main line work. So it'll be London King's Cross, starting from track 3. And it'll go all the way up the country, covering the entire length of main line we've currently built, all the way up to Edinburgh Waverley Station. And I mean... Track 3, the Flying Scotsman. Well, Platform 3. If we can get things like the Cramptons, which I think come in the mid-1850s, we can actually really increase the all-up train speed. But for now, we're going to stick with the six-wheeled coaches we've currently got, which should grant us a decent turn of speed. The important thing is, okay, they are automatically using the diversionary lines. Okay, not at this point, but that's fine. We can actually... So, let's set them going first. Let's set them going first. So we need to actually make sure this works properly. So, first of all, you coming back from Waverley, you need to go through that signal. And north of Peterborough, you need to absolutely make sure you are on the inside track, please and thank you. So we've got the joint section of trackage through here, which is going to be very messy indeed. Then complete separation north of Thirsk until we get past Newcastle, and then continued running all the way north from there. So that's fine. So that is everything sorted as it should be. Lovely. Okay, that's fine. So, timetable. $60 There's no way that is going to take 60 minutes to run that entire length. There's no way. That is not an hour's train journey. You can't tell me that it is. I think the Cramptons might actually be due at the end of this year, so we may actually have locomotives fast enough to actually make this damn thing work. So we'll have to see how we go. There goes the second train. $60 minutes from top to bottom. Straight line speed. Really? I find that hard to believe. Good lord, 60 minutes. Okay, those two trains need to clear out of the way of the express. And do so rapidly, because he's coming up behind them. Doing 45 miles an hour. Ye to the ha. This is why the overtaking railways were built. So the 4-track sections were built. Because we need that level of ability to overtake. Otherwise, we're kind of foobarred. He's catching him. He's catching him, slowly but surely. It is the fastest way to link the two capitals together. At least we think. Nobody really thought to poke the old buggers and ask them. So again, we now bypass the also Christmas Day! It's Smithmas! It is now no longer Smithmas, it's Boxing Day instead. So we bypass there, and then we are ahead of the train, which is good. Which means that we've got extra time and leeway ahead of us to actually let us pull ahead and catch the next in line. Oh, beautiful. That's what we wanted. That is exactly what I wanted. Beautiful. Absolute perfection. $75. Go on, Jeff. Go on, Jeff. Take her up to 75. Go on, Jeff. This finally, hopefully, with if I can, like, 75 miles an hour over 45 is a significant increase in all-up train speed. And in fact, actually, wait, do we have enough? Wait, hold on. We might have enough. Okay, we might actually have enough. Okay. Yep, we have enough. And now our mainline trains are also faster. And they certainly look more like mainline trains as well. Although, do we have anything that actually matches their speed regimen more? Oh, we actually do. We have 040. Oh, well, in that case, then let's... In that case, then, yeah, let's use them instead. Because they actually completely match the rolling stock that we're using. There we go. Perfect. I hope they take coal and water at every single station because it looks like they need it. There we go. That is now the speed of a London to Edinburgh express train. And Lord knows it needs to be. It's got to overtake trains where it can. Luckily, though, it does appear as though this train will actually be overtaken by... Oh, God, look at the speed difference. That should bring the capitals within 20 minutes of each other, I reckon. Ugh, 43 minutes is still not fast enough. I can't help but wonder, what if we... Okay. What if we add... They've got to pass through York anyway. What if we add a stop at York? Okay. Because if we add a stop at York, that just about brings them within 20 minutes. There we go. Whoa, look at that. Blitzing through Newark. Stand back from the platform edge, eh? Then we've got trains stopping at Retford, which we don't have a way to actually get round. I mean, it's here that the track work gets, and the traffic gets really, really busy. So, it looks like you're almost proper engines. Ew, French. Imagine running a tank engine on the... Well, yeah, but the tank engine fits with what I need it to do. Also, it's a very British thing that they did. Yeah, we need check signals now because we need to make sure that our trains don't get held up. Especially not at the exit tunnels like that. That length of line, though, we need ideally more. There we go. Yeah, we need to massively shorten the distance between signals. Yeah, luckily that signal distance at this point is pretty close together, as it should be for the amount of traffic that these lines share. To be fair though, these even when heavily loaded, these tank engines are doing very good, making very good time with these trains. And when I'm able to offer first, second, and third class accommodation on the main line. Oh, actually, that could in fact work. Like anything not actually stopping can just go round. Be it freight or passenger. I got bring signal spacing down to 200 meters as we're starting to build the modern railway, and that distance really does matter. And that now diverts all freight and passenger traffic around. Sorry, all freight and express traffic around rather than through Doncaster, which should hopefully increase throughput of freight and passenger trains. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait. The express needs to overtake you. This first run matters. You're missing... Well, third class is kind of... Well, no, we don't have scum class. We have standards, alright? We have standards here. There we go. So he is now well ahead of the traffic that should... So he should have a good straight run to York if he's stopping at York. He may be, he may not be. I'm not sure. Through the Selby curves. Since there's no easy way to build a go-around through Selby. So you'll have to... And then on the straight flat section through... And then we've got our first scheduled stop at York. There's no one planning to use the service because it's not quite fast enough yet. Okay. So we need to add more stops. So in that case, then we will. So what we will do... So we'll have from Edinburgh Waverley, there'll be a stop there, and also a stop on the way out. And we'll make sure that the stop on the way out is the correct platform. There we go. And then on the way back, what we will also do is, given that we need to have another stop south of York so that people can actually use the line, what we will do is we will have a stop. Yeah, we'll have them stop at Doncaster and interchange traffic with the Yeah, we'll have them stop at Doncaster and actually interchange traffic with the Leeds trains. That actually works. Yeah, that works quite well. Which means we need now... Yeah, we need 4 extra express sets. Oh, that's actually, yeah, that's unfortunate. But we need them now, so we will actually dig into the bank balance for that, because we need them. There we go. And as per the original, unbunchings will take place at York and Edinburgh Waverley. What that should do, though, is that should mean that we now have the ability to do express, to actually provide a link with the ability to actually, you know, service these trains relatively effectively. Especially by cutting out a lot of the middle traffic that would otherwise make people unwilling to actually travel. Because basically what you can now do is you can actually take a single service that gets you to Alnwick in like 10 minutes. And by using that train, you can then have a 10-minute fast run to Alnwick, and then you can transfer to a local service to get you the remainder of the way to Morpeth. And same thing at Doncaster. You can get off your express train at Doncaster, and then the reason why I've put those middle 2 stops so close together is because basically you're gonna have to make stops anyway, so it's fine, and you're gonna be held up in that section anyway, so it's not too bad. But they can afford to skip Selby. It's fine. And they're both good interchanges anyway. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's going well. Clarkson is disappointed. Clarkson isn't born yet. How... The man cannot be disappointed. He is not yet the born. So actually, yeah, where are the... Yeah, but where are... So you're there. You're way up north. And the rest of you are... Oh, please don't tell me the rest of you are all jammed up in the depot. Oh, you should have gone. You should have gone. You should have gone. You're still operating on the old unbunching. Yeah, you should have gone. You should have gone a long time ago. Go. Go, 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 go. High-speed express trains can make an awful lot of money if you do them right. But you do have to do them right. Look at that. Jeff and Steve doing 74 miles an hour. Absolute legends. So we do have some passengers waiting, which is good. It's very good indeed, actually. The problem I've got then is what to do next. I may actually not get through the 1850s today. Because I do have other commitments today, so I may actually not get through the 1850s. We might have to do a sort of reverse from week before last, where instead of actually going through like the first part of the 1830s and then finishing the 1830s on the Saturday, so going through the first part of the 1830s on the Thursday recorded thing and then finishing it on Saturday, I may actually be going further through the 1850s on the Thursday and then finishing it on the Saturday, and then having the 1860s be what takes place on Sunday. So I have to see how that goes, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. See how we go. Oh my god, we need more planks. We need to move more planks. More planks. Gotta move more planks. There we go. Bush. Bush, the planks, the planks, the planks. I am a very silly man. I am a very, very silly man indeed. Okay, how are we doing for money? Okay, passenger train line 2 is still the most profitable part of the network, which is not surprising. Through the tunnels. I don't even know where our express train actually is. Oh, he's still waiting at... Why is he still waiting? Why are you still waiting? What for? What are you waiting for? Go. There's nothing in your way. Go, go. Oh, he's held up to the regular... Oh, that's really annoying. That's really going to sting. Luckily, he'll be out of their way fairly sharpish, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I hope. You've disappointed the entire Clarkson line. I have had good success with express trains. You've just got to make sure that you, because there are people who prefer a fast way and people who prefer a slow way, and there is increasing levels of carryover and interchange traffic the more you go on. So there is normally a demand for express trains. Well, this guy's going to have a good run all the way north to Edinburgh. There's nothing in his way now. And he's actually carrying 15 people. Interesting to see how much these people are willing to pay for a fast run to Edinburgh. So we'll have to see. But even the local branch line trains are making money. Not much, but it keeps their head above water. But they're doing the valuable thing of actually providing that interchange with the secondary network, which is the important thing. Because that then feeds into the mainline network, which then feeds into... Well, doesn't feed into anything, that's the main line. And then there are people who want to get off the mainline trains and transfer to the Bishop's Auckland connecting little branch trains, which I do actually love the look of, that this is like my branch train go-to. There's like 2 6-wheel coaches and like an 042 tank engine. Which I do actually love. It's adorable and I love it. It's so classically quintessentially British. It's adorable. And it curves its way up this little main line. This like station nestled in like in this little valley, and I love it. It's adorable. Adorable, and I love it. Speaking of which, where is the express? there's that one. Where is the express? Has he got to? Oh, he's there. He's just caught. He's just caught the train in front of him. Good on him. A4's 35 to 40 minutes. I've got to be able to tighten that timing somehow. It's got to be a way to tighten that timing. Oh no, not Sheffield Forest. Is he still behind that one? Yeah, he is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're about to see how... Oh, okay. There is actually a great deal of demand for this through traffic. That is going to be a full train coming back the other way. Okay, there is definitely demand for this sort of through traffic. Especially if you serve the interchange stations, which we are. The speed! I have to admit, Clarkson will like the Cramptons. They are quick. And that was 12 people and it made 500,000. That's insane. Alright then, that was an insane amount of money for that to make. In fact, I can do even better than that. There we go. There we go. Nice big viaduct. So what I can actually do is I can actually bypass this entire section of trackage. Just like I did with the... There we go. With the other section. Which was that the left-hand line I was building off of? Or was it the right? No, it was the left-hand. Okay, that's fine. Tells me all I need to know, so that's fine. So then what we do is we come along. We accept a temporary speed restriction. As we climb up and over. Then we come down and we join the main line there. Like that. And what that does is that grants us basically 2 sections of almost completely independent express running, which will be massive for getting our timetabled speed up, getting our timings down, and making it an attractive proposition to take an express train rather than a local train for those actually seeking that sort of traffic. Yes, I am building what one could essentially term proto-high-speed lines. That is basically what I am doing. I hope our express train goes for them. Let's see, is he going to go for it? Yes, he is. That's good. That massively tightens timings north of Thirsk. Because basically everything north of Thirsk is now on separate trackage, which is very, very nice indeed. Okay, the Doncaster section of the run is that's a lot more people than we were expecting. Okay, yeah, we need to actually change our, yeah, I need to change my mind. It's not Doncaster, York, it's Doncaster, Thirsk. Because, that's the interchange, and I just realized that's where it needs to be. Because York isn't in an interchange station. And it's also siphoning traffic away from the local trains, which desperately need it. And most importantly, have the capacity to actually carry it! Like, I would for a Stirling single, but the problem is the Stirling singles are still 20 years away. Unfortunately. So, we can't really do anything about that. Wow, okay, the Hull to Thirlby line is actually really quite busy. They might have to add another pair of coaches to both trains. That makes them the second longest passenger trains on the network. There we go. Basically, the premise here is that you have your stops at interchange stations, because that then means you interchange. It's gonna take a while for the express trains to bed in, and they're gonna have to get longer, unfortunately. They just are. Luckily, I've actually made these trains fairly short. They scared the dirt out of me then. Luckily, it was only the express trains, thank God, I think, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's a more acceptable number of passengers waiting. That's capturing the interchange traffic I was hoping to capture. It basically brings other parts of the country within reach of those passengers who are coming from, say, Northallerton or from Scarborough. By giving them a fast run to places like Doncaster or Alswick or places like that. Until I get much faster trains, though, you're not going to see non-stop traffic from London to Edinburgh that actually works and makes sense, sadly. Unfortunately. Yeah. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything should run relatively smoothly. Passenger trains are... Okay, that's a saddle tank engine. That's nice. That's good to know. Nothing wrong with that. All up. Now that we've actually put an express service into operation, we do seem to have taken a lot of pressure off of the mainline service, which I'm absolutely fine with. I'm hoping that we get some more advanced locomotives. Probably general purpose types. At least that's what I hope. But, like, I'm hoping we get, like, singles. Yeah, like some basic British 222 singles. At least that's my thinking anyway. We'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition or not. It may not. We'll see how we go. What I am hopeful for is that we get some of these 222s fairly rapidly, because I'm going to need them. Problem is, I'm still stuck in limbo with not much money knocking around, as well, not nearly as much money as I'd like. I can probably upgrade the, upgrade the locomotives working the run up to Leeds with more coaching stock, which is absolutely fine, since they're going to need it, given the amount of people who actually are using the circular is growing. And people are actively using the circular to move around. Yeah, but people be moving. Shockingly enough. People can go to Wakefield, they can go to Leeds, and oh my god, yeah, there's so much passenger traffic wanting to come out of Leeds or go to Leeds, it's not even funny. Everybody wants to go to Leeds. Everybody wants to go to Leeds. There we go. We got some money coming in now. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so it is still freight, although with the 2 top earning passenger trains still earning more than you'd expect them to, which I'm absolutely fine with. I love this little, like, four-axle train of wagons pulled by a 4-axle locomotive. It's very funny. It's very funny indeed. The wood trains are doing okay. Doing alright. They're doing alright. They're providing enough wood to actually keep the most important part of the network. That is the sawmill trains going. How goes the actual releasing of the express passenger trains anyway? I think there's only 2 left that haven't been released onto the network yet. So if I'm not mistaken, there should be one of them somewhere here-ish. Should be. Don't see it, though. Yeah, I don't see it. There should be an express passenger train. Okay, there's one of the ones coming south. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. There we go. And there comes the express on its way back into Doncaster. That's going to have to wait for the regular service train ahead of it to clear, but that's fine. Is there anyone actually going to London? Oh yeah, there are 9 passengers that are willing to make the journey from Doncaster to London King's Cross. So yeah, the express train does actually work as a concept, which is nice to see. Excellent. I am very pleased. Not perfectly pleased, but definitely more pleased than I probably have any right to be, given the way things are going. If I can get a 442 or a 444, you know, I'd like them, but the problem is, of course, actually getting hold of them. Therein lies the rub. Big think. Fleet's doing a big think, boys. Everyone brace yourselves, for God's sake. Prepare yourselves. I'm hoping we can actually get something that's slightly... Well, to be fair, these little 040s have been proving themselves very effective on these services. Oh my god, the amount of... There is definitely a demand for a Thirsk to Doncaster Express. Absolutely there is. So I can't help but wonder if I should probably make one. Because there's clearly a demand. Or if I should create a new local train and try and cram that through. Then again, this is the busiest section of the main line. It's where freight, passenger trains, the express, they all have to run through here. Eventually. Okay, there goes the express on its upbound run, which is good. That means it is unbunching properly now, which is good. We hope. But, yeah, the problem is actually getting everything else to work properly. So the problem, though, it's actually fixing things so that they work. And so that they don't make me want to throw myself sideways in front of one of my own locomotives. Which I really don't want to do. I like living. Living is fun. Oh my god, so many people want to go to Hull. Why do you people want to go to Hull? What is so important in Hull? What? Roly-poly transport? What? What the... What? No. Yeah, thank you very much, roly-poly transport. Honestly. No, thank you. Funnel the stuff into the money. You will give me the money. Egg. I'm so silly at times. There we go. So yeah, that's good. So we got the expresses set up. They'll gradually filter into traffic, which is fine. Got the branches set up. Again, this is fine. They're not supposed to be profitable. They're supposed to make sure that the feeder connections are set up and working, because it's important that they are, so that people have the option, especially with these new faster services available, to actually make these connections. Now, admittedly, they're not guaranteed connections, to be fair. Man didn't realise his company was hijacked and name changed until now. Yeah. I am not the most observant cookie in the cookie jar. Not the most observant cookie in the cookie jar at all. Has to be said. Right. Okay then, there goes another local train, and I like this whole little setup at Darlington Station. It's very nice. You got the little two little bay platforms for the branch trains. And you could even occasionally, if we time it right, get dual departures. If I had like a steam rail motor, I'd use that instead. I don't, sadly, but, well, that's where we are. Like, Kirby Stephen is just in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Like, literally, you come out of the railway tunnel and it's there, and that's it. That's all you get. Like, this is the only link to the outside world. There is no other way to leave Kirby Stephen. I have the entire town hostage. Basically. Talk about a hostile channel network for the small boats. Well, we do have one ferry service that links Hull to Grimsby. It's also basically the only place we have a tram, because the tram serves as the link between the train station and the ferry terminal, where you can catch a train to the main line, or you can catch a train to Scarborough. There we go, reset that so that that doesn't block anything else off. Because otherwise it would do. And we don't want that. There we go. Marvellous. And again, Doncaster is still proving that... Good luck. Yeah, there absolutely is demand for a dedicated Doncaster... Doncaster to Thirsk Express or some... Yeah, absolutely. I mean, which of course opens the way towards modding it so that you can do street running with normal trains as well, which I will absolutely look forward to and categorically abuse. Who needs stations when you can run trains right into the heart of cities? Like, who needs stations? Like, you know, come on, like, why do that? Just get straight off the train and go straight onto the bus. Well, the train rolls right up to your house. Oh my god, the amount of people. So that's £1 million for just delivering 15 people to Doncaster. So, yeah. That's definitely already made the express trains worth it. Obviously, they won't make money until the expresses are all fully spread out and running properly, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But hopefully, once they are fully spread out and running properly, everything should work reasonably alright. We hope. I don't know whether or not they will or not. I'm looking at least like 8 million being printed each time 4 of those express trains stop. So it's not an insignificant chunk of change, like, at all. Oh! And there's another train on its way back down. Okay, a lot more of them may have spread out than I thought. That's honestly surprising. I didn't think anyone had made its way north. But no, apparently they had. Well, we needed something that can match the speed of the Cramptons, but haul a lot more coach. Well, then again, the only busy bit is Thirsk to Doncaster and vice versa. So, again, I do have to sit there and wonder, isn't it a great idea? Run a 9F straight to Piccadilly and stop in front of... Yeah, basically, yeah. Street running be like... Ah, yes. Street running be like, yeah, this is the way we do things. You don't get a say. Because they have opened the floodgates to American-style mixed street running. And now nothing will save us. Who needs lorries to deliver your freight? I'm just gonna send a shunting engine to go park right outside your shop with a fucking open van. Oh my god, that's very funny. Okay. So I need to think. Need to think. Think. Okay, so we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. That is a very, very good place to finish it. But we're going to lay down our goals for Thursday. So Thursday's goal is within the space of the hour that I record, so which will go up on Thursday, of course. The goal is to finish the main line out to Ipswich. That will be the goal for Thursday. And if I get that done, then the stretch goal will be to link every other remaining city on the map that doesn't have a railway connection. Basically finish all of the main lines and branch lines. And then obviously on Saturday we'll finish the 1850s. And then obviously on Sunday, which is next week, we'll be back to continue this into the 1860s. So, thank you very much everyone for joining us. I hope you've had as good a time as I have. And join me this coming week. Obviously it won't be live, it'll be recorded. But join me for the recorded session on Thursday and then the next live on Saturday. There was no recorded session this week or on Saturday because I was feeling a little bit weird. Not quite in the right headspace, but we should be alright this week. Everything should be a-okay as we go forward, since I know exactly where I am now in terms of the things that will make me feel a bit off-kilter last week. So, take care everyone. I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye-bye!